Hey everybody, I'm Sean, and welcome to another episode of Angling Spiders. Welcome back everybody. On today's episode, it's part 3 of an epic day fall fishing out here in southern Alberta. In the very first part of this series, I caught 14 pike on Len Thompson spoons. In the second part, I decided to switch it up and go to a lure I'd never used before, the CST crankbait in a rainbow trout pattern. Caught 13 fish on that one. In this episode, I am going to use everything left in my tackle box to see if I can round out the day by catching a fish on every hook that's left in here. And so that's what we're going to do right now. Let's get right to the action and see if we can get onto some more fish. All right, everybody, so for my first lure of the afternoon, I'm going to try out this Catch 'em Big. I have caught fish on this one before. It looks like a juvenile walleye. It's not in the Feather Walleye Rattler series. It's a different series of jerk baits, but looks fantastic, and let's see if we can get on one right away. It took about 30 seconds to get a fish on that Catch 'em Big. And there we go. Let's get this one released. All right, so I got that one out of the way. Let's now move on to the next one. Some of you will recognize this. This is a pike jerkbait that I picked up on the shore of Twin Valley Reservoir just earlier in the month. And I'm gonna try it now and see if I can get onto a pike. All right, so lure number 2, the pike jerkbait. We got on one. So the strategy for this episode, if you guys have watched the other 2, is just to basically follow some shallow weed banks here and search for some fish. The pike bite is so hot today that I think I could throw almost anything at them, including the kitchen sink, and I'd probably catch them. If I had the kitchen sink on a lure, I would throw it right now. But there it is, the pike jerkbait, fish number 2 for this episode. And we got one. There we go. Good stuff. Let's get this one unhooked and released. Barely hooked. Nice little fish. And there we go, the pike jerkbait working great. Let's look in the tackle box and see what else we got in there. Next up, we will go with the trusty Len Thompson in a green and glow, the number 2. This is one of my favorite early season pike lures. If you are having trouble in the early season getting the pike out of the weeds, this is a great lure to do it with. All right, not joking, 30 seconds later, after I started trolling, lure number 3, the Len Thompson green and glow. And it went into the weeds. So I am hauling a pile of weeds along with this fish. It was bound to happen. This is the first time today that one of them went into the weeds on me. Kind of surprised it took this long. There it is. Ball of weeds and a little fish. I am gonna go to the lure that started this whole channel. Some of you may know what that is. It is the dollar store lure that we used a lot in season 1, the Mako swim bait. This Mako perch swim bait that you used to be able to pick up at Dollarama here in Canada for $1. I think they're now maybe $2 because of inflation. But you can still get them, by the way. In the spring, every year they restock these. We caught a ton of pike on these in the first couple seasons. They are a very good lure, and the only reason we stopped using them, to be honest, even though they were reliable and cheap, is that you can only catch about 3 or 4 fish on them, and then they just eat them up. The pike just tear them to pieces because it's a soft swim bait. But I've got one here. Let's see if we can catch fish number 4. There it is, fish number 4 on the Mako swim bait. Little one. Took little one, yeah. All right, I got it out. Oh, and there it goes. Let's go with this. So this is a Yoda worm on a rocker head. And I've got it rigged for weedless, basically Texas rigged. Single hook. Let's see if that picks up a fish. This is craziness, you guys. 5th lure, 5th fish. This time the Yoda worm on the rocker head. It took me about 30 seconds. Little tiny pike. Look at that. Nothing to it. And gone. Beautiful. So, 5th fish, 5th lure. I've already got a bunch out here. And I'm going to try something I would never normally use for pike. This is more of a walleye lure. This is just a jig tipped with a soft plastic swim bait. Yeah, I would normally try this for walleye for sure, but not for pike. But given what's happening here today, I'm all about giving this thing a shot. And the nice thing about this is I can fish this in shallower water. So I haven't done much of the really shallow fishing today, and so maybe I'll use a few of these lighter lures to try some of the really shallow water and see what's cruising the shallows. Did not take long at all, and we got into it. Sixth lure, 6th fish. Awesome stuff. Oh, nice run on that one. Oh, we got some fight in this one. This might be a better fish, you guys. Or it's just a good scrapper, but it does not want to come. Look at that. Oh yeah, that's my biggest of the day. For sure. You know, you switch to a completely unconventional lure that you would never normally use and catch your biggest pike of the day. Look at that. That's an over 30. That's the one I was looking for before. It's like, where are all the over 30s? Still don't have it in the net. There we go. Yeah. 30, just about 31-inch pike. All right, well, that worked out great. Can't believe it. Biggest fish of the day on this little jig and swim bait that got beat up here. And now I'm going to go to another completely unconventional lure. I am going to a Mepps spinner. I would never use this for pike, ever. So this is going to be interesting to say the least. But why not? Give it a shot. The way they're biting today, I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't get one relatively quick. Oh yeah, we got one on the Mepps. They are so hungry today. It is unbelievable. I think I could toss anything. I've never seen them like this before. That's another nice one too. Look at that. Just in the lip. Oh, all over my face. And I'm sure the camera. Alright, sorry about that everybody. I had to clean the camera off because that fish splashed me everywhere. But that's what caught the seventh fish, that little Mepps spinner. And worked great. So I am going now to a brand new lure. This is a Len Thompson, so no surprise there. I've used Len Thompson's. But this is one of those fishing for food bank lures that Len Thompson put out every year for their charity. And this is one that I had that I've never opened and used before, but I love green, and it was why I kept it. So this green and yellow, I am going to put that on and see if I can get my 8th fish on 8 different lures. I'm running out of lures in the tackle box, which is a crazy thing to say. So I'm gonna cast it here a couple times, and then we will troll it up again and see what happens. You guys can't see it, but I can see my hummingbird just out of the corner of my eye. And I'm out a little bit too deep right now. So I drifted a bit. There's a hit. You guys probably saw that. There it is. Lost my paddle. Yeah, we got it. All right, 8th different lure, 8 fish. What a day of fishing. I can hardly believe it. And they are scrappy today. They're active in this colder water. They're hungry. And there it is. Just like that. Number 8. Okay, so I think I've left the most challenging one for last, you guys. I'm down to pretty slim pickings in my tackle box. I am going to try jig head. I'm not going to tip it with any plastics. I am just going to use this chartreuse jig head, nothing else. And we'll see if that can produce a fish. It's got no action at all. So it's basically just a yellow blob going through the water. And that'll tell you, if I can catch one on there, just how hungry these pike are. You guys, my vehicle is just up here, and I'm surrounded by whitefish surfacing, but I got a pike. I fished that little jig for quite some time, and I didn't get anything. So it just goes to show that you actually do have to have some action on your lure. And I switched back to this Len Thompson, and on my first cast, I picked up a fish. So definitely got to have a lure with some action on it. They're not just looking for anything that's moving. But there we go. Probably my last fish of the day. All right, everyone, that is going to do it for today. What an incredible day of fishing out here. Gotta love when you have days like this. 14 fish in the morning before lunch, 13 fish right after lunch, and in this episode, part 3, another 13 fish on 12 different lures. What an amazing day of fishing. So all told, 40 pike today. Man, and also an absolutely gorgeous day here to end off September. So man, I really enjoyed this one, and I hope you guys did too. And if you did, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and until next time, good fishing.